Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Hello and welcome to the Pronunciation Pro podcast. My name is Annie Rudin, and today I have some very exciting life updates for you. And before we get to that, I'm going to give us a few announcements and make sure that if you're a member of Pronunciation Pro or want to be a member of Pronunciation Pro, you kind of know what's going on. So we have our group classes that include a lot of AI instruction and AI feedback. So we have group classes with live instruction, and we have some AI tools, some new AI tools that give you more feedback as you're practicing. Okay, so that is really powerful. So if you have not downloaded the FlowSpeak app and the Pronunciation Pro app, I encourage you to do that. And those resources are part of your program, and it's that Pro plus Flow membership that we have at pronunciationpro.com. We also have private lessons. And so if you are wanting just faster progress, just more one-on-one help, definitely go check out our private packages. We have the Plus and the Premier. And the only difference between those is just how much private training you get. Those are incredibly powerful. We have our students that have done the private packages and private membership. They get the fastest results because they're really hitting it hard. So if you give 6 months to that private membership, you are going to feel more than confident to go ahead and take it from there in your life and career. So give us 6 months and we'll help you feel really confident speaking English. All right, so a lot of good things happening at Pronunciation Pro. It's a great community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded people who are motivating and just incredible examples of what it means to be a lifelong learner, come join us at Pronunciation Pro. Incredible community there. Okay, how about a life update? Now, it's interesting because because we have such a great community and we get together for our study groups and we kind of have gotten to know each other there. Plus this podcast, I find that because you're listening to me so much and things, there's a connection there. And even though I might not know you individually super well yet, I hope to be able to, as you come to join our community or attend the study groups and the book club meetings and the confidence coaching, all these live trainings that we have. I really get to know our students. I also get to know you when you schedule a free consultation. If you're interested in the private membership, I have options for free consultation. So I have opportunity to meet you individually. And that's what I love. I love to be able to have that one-on-one connection with you and learn about you and kind of develop that relationship. My greatest motivation in doing this work is connection. I love connection, and I love connecting with people who are different than me, who have similarities to me. I just love that connection. I think that's the greatest part of life. Okay, but with this podcast and with our community, I feel like this connection of like, I care about your life, and I know that our students have shown a lot of interest in my life. Now, the last episode we had was talking about, like creating connection, going out to lunch, sharing about yourself. And the more we can be authentic and live authentically and share with people, the more connection there will be. And that's a journey that I've been on. I love Brene Brown and her work about living wholeheartedly. And that when we put up defenses, or she calls it kind of the armor, when you armor up and you kind of protect yourself from other people and don't share and aren't your true self, it creates a disconnect. And I have been working over the years at just like, how can I take off that armor? How can I live more authentically? And with that, you have to be okay with other people maybe judging you, or that fear of embarrassment or failure, because you're showing your true self. And so the more you live authentically, the more you have to be grounded in who you are as a person. And so it's a journey, it's something that you have to work on. But that's something that is important to me because I value connection. I want that deep personal connection with others. And so in order to do that, you have to live vulnerably. You have to kind of share more. So it's interesting because I'm like, okay, well, I want to connect more with all of you. And so in order to do that, I know that sharing a little bit more of my personal life or some exciting things that are happening to me will just help create that connection. So today I have some very exciting news. And a little background, some of my students didn't know this because in my program, I talk about, my husband and some of the mental health challenges that he's had. And it kind of goes along with the Confident Mindset training because I developed that course while kind of helping myself and my husband through a lot of mental health challenges over the years. So through therapy and coaching and some of the tools we used, I was able to learn those skills and be practicing those skills and tools of mindset training and some things that were really helping me navigate some difficult situations with my kids and with my husband. And so I created the Confident Mindset course for all of you because they were tools that I knew were applicable to everyone. And so that's how that came about. And so even in the introduction of that course, I talk about my husband and my kids. Now, fast forward several years, my husband and I got a divorce. And I'm really grateful for all the tools because we really have a good relationship now. We communicate very well. It just became, because of choices he was making, a marriage wasn't healthy for both of us. And so we decided to end our marriage, but it was important to both of us that we maintain a good relationship because of our kids. We have 5 boys together, and we wanted to make sure that we co-parent really well. And that has been the case. So we've been divorced for 4 years now, and we have been able to navigate kind of co-parenting our kids. Well, he lives in my neighborhood, and it's been a good situation for the most part. We just navigate. All situations are going to have its challenges, right? So you just have to use the tools of knowing. And one thing that I love so much about our confidence training is that we have the personal power in every situation. Okay. So I've been able to use these tools of, staying in my personal power. What do I have control over? I can only control myself. I can't control other people's behaviors, actions, thoughts, attitudes, all of that. I have no control over that. So over my then husband and my children, but I get to decide how I'm going to show up and who I want to be in those situations, and kind of learn all the tools that I can of how to show up in a way that feels honest and in alignment with my integrity and in alignment with my belief system as far as my faith and things like that. So I had to really practice these tools myself, and I'm seeing the fruit of that. The result of that has been really, really beautiful and peaceful. And it took, some practice. It's taken practice, and it continues to take practice. But I'm super grateful for those tools. And so we've adapted them to speaking English and how to be more courageous and in speaking English and speaking English in public, really decreasing the fear of judgment or making mistakes or feeling embarrassed, really learning how to own your own story so that you stand in a confident place in and of yourself, inside your own body and your own choices. So all of these tools are just applicable to not only learning English, but also all areas of our life. If we really focus on controlling what we can control, which is ourselves, and being disciplined within ourselves, and really reshaping the way we think and believe and things, that changes our external world. And I thought that all these tools and all the therapy and everything and all this work on myself would help save my marriage, and kind of keep that marriage intact and kind of change some of the choices that my husband was making. But it didn't. What it did is made me a lot stronger to be able to handle what was coming. And so I'm super grateful for it. So anyway, 4 years ago, got divorced, have been managing, being a single parent and raising my 5 boys and being the primary caretaker of them and providing for myself and my kids. And it's been hard. It's been really, really hard. It's, it's not meant to do alone. Parenting is not meant to do alone. And, went through a bout of depression and experienced a lot of anxiety, and have been taking medication for the last year and a half or 2 years to kind of help with that anxiety. And it's made a huge, huge difference. So grateful for modern medication and the role that can play in helping us navigate some difficult situations and just not having the chemical makeup that you need, whether by life circumstances or genetics. Sometimes your brain just needs a little help. And that took me a while to feel comfortable with taking medication. And so that was a big deal. So anyway, yeah, so navigating all of that and raising my boys, my youngest son was 1 year old when we were officially divorced, and about 1 month old when we separated. My ex-husband and I separated. So it's been a long road and very challenging. With that said, there's a lot learned in challenges, right? There's a lot of growth that happens when things are hard. And I know all of you can relate to that, because just think of the most challenging times of your life and think of the growth that you've experienced during those times. And I've talked with so many of you, and, just moving to a new country and navigating a new culture, a new language, those are hard things. And I know that, as you have really been determined to make these changes, to overcome these challenges, to work on areas of weakness, you have been better off for it. And you have grown and you have become better and stronger and more capable because of these things. And we don't want to go through hard things. We don't want to have to experience that kind of challenge, but really it's what makes us better people. And, I have a strong faith in God, and I do feel that power, whether it's from God or higher source, whatever you believe in. I do believe that there's a power beyond ourselves that helps us do more and have the power to overcome our challenges if we rely on that power and look to that power. So I've felt that, and that constant guidance through my life and through this challenging time. And it's been such a gift. And I know I couldn't do it without it. And I think that higher source, directs us to things that will be helpful for us. So all of the coaching, all of the people in my life that have been really helpful during this time, I know that that's part of the process is finding the tools. So I've heard a lot of you say that it's kind of been a miracle or something that you've been praying for, to find an answer to kind of this insecurity that you're feeling about your English or how to improve your English. And and that, finding my podcast or finding my program has been the miracle that you've been seeking. So I'm so grateful to be part of that. And, this work I feel like has been a divinely guided work. I love it. It's been an important piece of my journey and my learning over the years, but also just that connection that I get to have with you and just knowing that the work that we do here is important and it helps you become the best version of yourself. So super grateful for that. All right. So now for the exciting part. So as of last weekend, I am now engaged to be married again. So I have this beautiful ring that he gave me this weekend. And if you're on YouTube, you can kind of see it. It's kind of funny because I have it on my right hand, which typically, we wear wedding rings, especially in the US, on our left ring finger. Okay. But on Friday of last week, and it was the day before he was going to propose, I jammed my finger playing basketball. I play basketball regularly with a group of women, and what are the odds? I jammed my ring finger, and so my knuckle got all big and swollen and bruised. And so I knew that if he was going to propose, the ring wouldn't fit on my finger. And so I'm still waiting for the swelling to go down so I can fit it on my left hand. But until then, I'm kind of wearing it on my right hand. So his name's Matt, and we actually met online. There's an app, a dating app that is for members of my faith, so members of my church community. And we met online, but then quickly realized that we had, 10 or more mutual connections, friends, family that knew each other. And so it helped a lot in being able to establish trust in knowing that he's a good person and that he is who he says he is, because online dating can be a little tricky that way. But I live in Arizona in the United States and he lives in Utah. And so the other part of this is that I'm going to be moving up to Utah to live there. And before we get married and then after we get married. So that will be a new experience for me and my kids. We have been preparing for that move, and there's been a lot of big feelings with my kids, but all in all, I'm super grateful for their resilience and their trust in me. My oldest son, he's going to be a senior in high school this next year. So his last year of high school. And so he's coming with us. And at first he was like, I don't really want to move. But then he was just like, but ultimately, Mom, if you think that's the best thing for us, then I'll go, I'll go, and I trust you that this is going to be a good thing. And so I really appreciate his trust in me and that I do have his best interest in mind. So yeah, we are packing up my house. My background here is going to change here soon. We're going to be a little bit in transition until we find a house there. It will all be great. And I know it's going to be great because I know that it's my internal world that makes a situation, that it's not the external. The external, we're going to want, I made sure that I'm finding the right fit as far as a person that I can share a life with, who I can trust, who I know is loyal, who I know is, a good protector and provider, and who is a good dad, who will be good to my kids and things. Oh, the other part, this is a funny piece of it and a really exciting piece, is that he has 4 daughters. So he has 4 girls. I have 5 boys. And so we will have 9 children between us. I am actually from a family of 9 kids. I'm the youngest of 9 kids in my family, so it's not necessarily something very new to me. I have loved being from a very large family, and my siblings and I are very close. And I'm really grateful that I had that upbringing. And so to me, it doesn't seem crazy, even though I know it sounds crazy to others. but but I know it'll be busy. I know it'll be hard in different ways. But being a parent has been one of my favorite things in the whole world. And so I'm grateful for that. So one thing that's funny is that every time my oldest son was saying that every time he has talked to other people about us moving and his mom getting married and us blending families, and that he has 5, he has 4 brothers, and you know he'll be getting 4 sisters. People make the comment, "Oh, it's like Brady Bunch." Okay, it's like the Brady Bunch. And my son was like, "People keep saying that, and I'm not sure what it means." And so I looked up on YouTube the introduction to the Brady Bunch show. So this was a show that was on, I remember watching it when I was little, growing up, so in the 80s. But it was it's a story, it's a sitcom, a TV show that was on when I was growing up. And it was basically this woman and her 3 daughters, and a man and his 3 sons who merged families, and they got married, and it was the whole TV show was about them blending this family together. And so once I showed him the introduction of this TV show, and if you just Google the Brady Bunch intro, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it was just a funny cultural reference that he didn't understand until I had to explain it to him. But yeah, we get that comment a lot, that we're like a Brady Bunch family. So that's our big life update. Getting married, blending families, and moving up to Utah. So we'll probably get married the end of July and make it simple with just family and close friends, but we want to do something special so that the kids can enjoy it, and just make it fun for the kids and memorable for us and the kids. And really, really just looking forward to it. So a lot of exciting things. And so what that means for Pronunciation Pro is that, so Matt is an entrepreneur and he owns several businesses. And so it's a beautiful fit, because I told him, I was like, I'd love to continue Pronunciation Pro and to keep doing that, because I love the people, I love the work, but there's a lot of parts of marketing and just the business side of things that I spend a lot of time doing, but it's not my favorite. And so he was just like, "Oh, I'd love to do that part." And so I think it's going to be a great team effort to be able to bring Matt in and to have him help with the behind the scenes pieces. I think that Pronunciation Pro has been able to do well because of word of mouth. All of you kind of telling your friends and family about us here. And because people can feel my passion and love for this work and love for you. And so I think that has been my best marketing tool over the years, even though I've tried a lot of different ways of getting the word out. But I appreciate you sharing Pronunciation Pro with your family and friends. But yeah, I'll be able to have Matt to kind of help me, because there's all sorts of other strategies to get the word out about businesses. And I know so many of you are your own business owners. So you know what I'm up against in terms of just marketing and making sure people know about the program and are successful in understanding the program and working for that. So very excited for this next phase of life. It's going to be very, very busy, but very full. And again, I am just so grateful for the confidence tools that I have learned and that I have been practicing, because it gives a lot of confidence going into these situations for future, right? So think about it in terms of, like, for me, I'm going into a new marriage and with new kids and blending families and moving into a new place, and I can feel confident that I'm going to be able to handle it, and that I'm going to be able to navigate the challenges that are ahead of me. And how do I have that confidence? It's because I know that I have personal power over the situation. I can choose, even though I can't control the people around me. I can choose how I show up, and I can choose how I respond to situations. And I can choose to lead with love and to lead with compassion. I can choose to hold boundaries with people and to know what's okay and what's not okay, to protect myself from harm. And, I can stand grounded in who I am. And those are all very powerful skills that bring a lot of confidence. And I know you can develop those skills as well. And that's a huge part of what we do at Pronunciation Pro. Even though we're working on communication skills, speaking skills, really developing your skills in English, we also teach mindset. We teach you how to feel confident and how to move forward in unknown situations with confidence. And that is a powerful, powerful tool, not only for learning to speak English in any situation and learning to feel confident speaking English in any situation, but it also carries over into your relationships with others. It carries over into your relationship with yourself and being at peace with yourself and with others. And gosh, what could be better than that? So I encourage you to come join us at Pronunciation Pro, come learn these skills. And I know that as you do, and as you use your voice and you learn to speak up and you learn to, you're going to have an influence and an impact on so many different people because of this work. So please, please come join us. The world needs you and your voice, and we want to help you be able to develop that voice and especially that confidence. All right. Thank you so much for letting me share with you today. I know it's going to be a wild ride, and I'll share, what's going on as we go along, but life is amazing and we can make it what we want to make it. And I know this from experience that we're sometimes dealt hard things, but it's what we do with it. It's like, it's not what happens to us, it's what we do in response to it that matters and creates the life that you want to create. And oftentimes it's better than you could even imagine. And that's very exciting. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you again in the next episode and in Pronunciation Pro. All right. Have a great day. Bye.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.